Hello to anyone that's here. Hello, hello, hello. We've got 3 people waiting, it looks like. Who's ready to get creepy? We are live. I'm waiting for it to show up on the screen. Here it comes. All right, it looked like there was a delay there. Hello to 6 Toppy. Let's see who was here first. 6 Toppy, Dank Engine, Yo, Kahlest. Hello, hello. Thank you for telling me that you can hear me, by the way. Thought I saw April Jones. There you are. That was my lovely husband serenading us with a large belch, if you didn't hear that. The Darkness. Hey, what's up? What's up? I feel like that's going to make a comeback. Aren't they going to make another Scream movie? I should Google it, but I don't want to like interrupt our flow. I found like a really good chunk of stories for us to read tonight that I'm pretty sure I haven't read. I think I've been into them before where I thought I haven't read them before, but then I questioned myself, like maybe I was going to read them, but I didn't think they were scary, or I did read them, but it was so long ago that I cannot possibly remember which video it was for. So, let's see. Let's get announcements out of the way. If you didn't hear before, I'm going to usually every year, Creeparoni has a story contest. Now, I hadn't seen much activity to her or from her, so I went and asked her if she was going to do that this year. She said no, and I asked her if it was okay if I did it, and she gave me permission, so I just wanted to get that out of the way first thing, that this year, not only will I also be having another art contest, and that person's art, the winner of the art contest, will have their art featured on merch, and that merch will just be at cost on Teespring. So it'll be like the lowest possible price. So there's no I wouldn't gain any profit from that, but that helps that person if they have any kind of art that they promote or anything, they'll have bragging rights. They'll be on the channel for a year or anywhere else that I have their artwork at. And then the stories, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do the stories yet. I think I'm going to have them be try to keep them under 10 minutes. And they have to be an original idea. And that's all I have worked out so far. I might have to refer to Creeparoni's rules from her past one, since, I'm going off of how she used to do it. So not sure what month that'll be yet either. I just wanted to get that out there again. But also tomorrow, I wanted to do it last week, but I completely ran out of time. Tomorrow's Serial Killer Saturday will be the Galagos or Gallegos. I'm not exactly sure on the pronunciation. But they'll be up tomorrow. They were pretty awful. My cat is going crazy right now, and I'm not really sure why she's doing that. Probably just wants attention. Let me see. I didn't miss anybody, did I? Let's see. Scream was just like such a simple premise, but just so one of your worst fears coming true. Come here, Lily. Come here. Come here. There you go. You don't have to be lonely. Roger Henley. Hello. Hello, hello. I'm always curious. April, I know that you're a fellow narrator, so if you guys want some more female narration, she's got a channel. Kahlest has a channel. 6 Toppy, do you have a channel too? I feel like you might. I'm not 100% sure. Roger, I don't know if you do. I am curious though, whoever's new here, or 6 Toppy and the Darkness and Roger. And not that I have seen your comments on the comment section. I'm curious, how have you found my channel. How did you find me? Yeah, I'm all about promoting other. I'm not sure why other channels don't do that more, but yeah, you should always promote your fellow. I don't think we're competing against each other. We just both like horror. I go through my phases where I'm more obsessed with it than others. Last Friday was Friday the 13th, right? But we went to a Weezer concert. But if I wouldn't have went to the Weezer concert, I would have just been like holed up in my house watching back-to-back Friday the 13th. So I didn't get to celebrate the holiday properly. Darkness says, oh snap, sirens are going off. They're coming to get me. Kahlest says, via a collab you had done, but I can't remember who it was, but I'm subbed to them. I think it was Mortis Media, Kahlest. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm supposed to come up with a collaboration idea for us to do with Mortis Media. I just have been drawing a blank. Celtic Girl. Hey. Funny Through Horror female narrators, I believe. Oh. Was it Black Eyed Blonde? She tends to do that a lot. Mortis Media. Yeah, okay. Was it recently or was it a while ago? I try to respond to every single comment, but I cannot always remember how long someone's been commenting. Like, Celtic Girl, you've been commenting for a while. Kahlest, I know you've been around for a while. It's been so long since I just figured we did some sort of like thing together, April. I found you. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Some guy the day before yesterday left a comment on my Albert Fish channel that said, is it weird that I'm hard? I didn't even approve the comment because why would you say that? And yes, it's weird. Gross. As I've stated multiple times, I don't put SKS up there as a let's mock the victims. I do it in an effort to try and better understand the psychology behind serial killers because I feel like when you understand something like this, then maybe you can find a way to stop it. So that was the whole premise of stopping it. Let's see. Six Toppies said, I have to go back up now because I can't find it. I mostly watched male narrators and thought why I wasn't watching any females, so I searched a bunch up and started supporting them and found a bunch of amazing ones. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for that. It is difficult because it seems like hey Hexwando, do you do videos still do? He went into great detail about how he did that too, April. I feel like I'm really, 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 really behind in watching other narrators. My personal life has been busy and full, and that's good. But the other stuff kind of takes a back burner. So probably when fall gets here, I'm going to be like binge watching so much stuff I'm behind on. Yeah. That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. I used to go by Harley on my channel, but I changed it. I think I'm going about horror related stuff. Not sure if I should. I say before you start doing anything that you really want to build on, really think about it and stick with it. Because I've seen people change their logo and change their name, and then I can't keep track of like favorite ones, and I've totally forgotten about them because when I've liked a channel, I rely on their logo to help me relate it to their channel of when they have stuff up. So I strongly suggest when you pick a logo, it doesn't matter if it's a friggin' Christmas tree, keep it. Keep it until you're so big that there's no way people could possibly lose you in the crowd. Even if it's an orange dot and that's the only thing on your something that's just like, boom, that's them, that's them. That's the only advice. And take it with a grain of salt because people will give you advice about anything from being a parent to having an orange in your hand. And all you can do is listen to what they have to say and maybe take some of their advice and maybe not. Unsolicited advice, however, like since you asked, so I gave that to you. But I don't tell people my opinion about anything unless they ask, because that's unsolicited advice. And if you don't know how I feel about that, well, just ask me. April said, yeah, I changed once to my Twitter handle and I switched right back. Yeah, people can't find you. And it's especially if you're narrating stuff. And I say this, April, because you never know. You got to follow writers, actors, because you never know who knows who hears your voice. Your voice might be perfect for some part that they're doing. That's a reason why you want to be able to be found in that relation. That same with writers too. Like Nick Boddick. Nick Boddick I found on Reddit, and he's the one that wrote Agoraphobia and Blackouts. And I asked him if I could, and he's like, "Oh yeah." And now he's got like, I think he's going to do his second book is going to get published. I'm not 100% sure on that, but he has a website and a lot of people have narrated his stuff now. And Nick Boddick is something that I don't know if he'll ever change that, but it's very easy to find him because there's not a lot of Nick Boddicks out there. You know what I mean? So it's easy to relate writings to Nick Boddick because you know exactly what he does and what he writes. Currently doing gaming, and to be honest, gaming is kind of getting stale. You can do all of it. Like on my channel, that's why the pasta's not in my name. I don't want to just be in one genre. If I feel like reading a sad love story, I'm gonna read it. Or for last year, I did a few of those goofy email ones, and they were just dorky comedy, and I like that. So if it's something that I like, then I'm going to do it. Antonio, hello. Just woke up and caught your live stream. Loved your recent collab with Black Eyed Blonde. Yeah, that was something I had on my channel last summer. Beautiful. But I don't think that people go through all of my stuff anymore because there's so many videos. My channel's been growing probably because of all those months when I uploaded day after day after day. And I just don't have time to barely get one out a week right now. So thank God I have a whole bunch to fall back on. Some of them aren't so great though. So I don't know if that hurts me or helps me. Fingers crossed. My screen keeps flashing like it's loading. So you guys let me know if you can't hear me. Okay. Toppy says everyone is doing gaming commentary nowadays. Khalees said, I did. I have watched every one of your videos. Man, that's nice, Khalees, because some of them are not that great. I'm sorry. It's fun to learn how to edit. Speaking of editing, Darkness, I like to do gameplay while doing narrations. I would like to do a narration with the gameplay. I went through a phase where I was looking for free to use gameplays. It was harder than I thought it would be to find some. So I thought that would be cool for a few stories that I was looking to narrate, but it's cool to hear narration with other genres besides horror. Yeah. I was just having a little mental flashback there when you said that. Kids stories. I really got into that when my daughter was younger. I really, really got into that. I really enjoy that. I was going to say something and then I completely blanked out because I had like a flashback in my head. I think that you have to do whatever you like, and you can do whatever you want with your channel. You don't have to stick with just one thing. Go with what your gut. Like if you're not having fun with the video, there's no point in doing it because then it feels like you're doing a job that you don't like, that you're also not getting paid for. And people can tell when you put up content that you do. You know, like if I was doing this and I was like, hi, how are you doing? Who in the hell would want to listen to it? Not that there's thousands of people here now, but there's 15 very important people here, and I want you to enjoy your listen. Let me see here. Also, I think the two announcements that I was going to do was the and I have mentioned it before, but it's been a while. I just wanted to reiterate that would be it. I am going to post, I started reading The Willows, which, by the way, part 2-1 is done for any of my Patreon patrons that are here. I just didn't get to edit it yet, so that'll be up tomorrow also. So you get to get SKS and you get that. It's a little easier, honestly, to put up just audio. So Patreon makes it a little bit easier because it's just audio. You can try to put up a video, but really the only way you can really do it is by linking it. And if you're linking anything to YouTube, it's already live. So I feel like you're not really getting, if you're paying on Patreon and that doesn't make any sense to me. But I guess it would make sense to advertise the stuff that's here on Patreon. And I just had that little flash in my head. Duh. Oh my gosh. Hey, what's up? Chris says, what's up? Darkness says, I mainly do Jurassic related stuff. I used to do screen recorder. Yeah, I was just meddling around with that too the other day. And it looked like something fun. Like I was trying to figure out how people did like those other some channels that were like, oh, I was looking on this website and bought this and this. I'm like, how the hell did they do that? And I figured out a way to do it. Just not sure how I would do it for a video from my channel yet. So, let's see. Let me see. Let me go up a little bit. Kahlest says some of the other narrators who have gameplay in the on-screen while they narrate, they use demo versions of the game. Oh, that's smart. Yeah, I just don't want to get copyrighted or something. What's up, Chris? Did I already say that? Probably. Oh, 6Toppy. They have copyright-free gameplay channels. Narrators can use that. Right. Usually when any video stuff that you see on my channel with my narrations, I have searched free to use. I've used a lot of beachfront B-roll. He's a brilliant photographer. If you ever get a chance to just stroll over there, you should. He's got a whole channel where it's free to use. And there's always someone that tries to claim his stuff as theirs. So then I have to go through this process of telling YouTube that, no, it belongs to someone else and this person's trying to steal it, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. Anything. If you're a narrator or you make any kind of video, always keep your links. I keep a file with my story link if I have a story link, my music link, my video link, and I keep it all on a file. But it's also all in my description box for a reason, because if somebody claims anything on that video, you go to that video, I right-click it on a new tab, I can just go right to it. And it's really easy to reference that. Just do yourself a favor and always give credit where it's due too. I mean, especially Reddit, don't just go to Reddit and take their stuff. They do not like that. And they will call you out on it and they will target your ass. I've seen it happen and it's not pretty. It's a slow, malicious takedown. Yeah, just get permission. It's really easy. Do I write? Some. I've done some where I've meant to do actually I do have a playlist where it's just my stuff. And I've got some stuff that I made private because I just thought the videos were too embarrassing. Like I've got some bad stuff that I did, but some of it's so bad I'm like, eugh. Like I altered the voice a lot too. Usually the stuff I do is pretty short. I did Don't Say It was the first thing I did on my channel. And for the first several months, the only stories I used were stories that I wrote, which was a lot of work, by the way. You think I'm the best? Man, you're nice. That's nice. Hey, Element. Hello. 6Toppy says, best thing to use for visuals is to take pictures of nature yourself. Yeah, I do that sometimes too. I do have a whole bunch on one of my flash drives of video that I've taken myself. But I don't have an expensive camera, and there's some shots that just you can't get. There's, one of my favorites to use is drone shots. Those are my favorite when storytelling. I just feel like it just adds a different element to it. It's supposed to storm here tomorrow and tonight, and there's some rain shots I've been wanting to get. simple rain shots, but it has to be raining really hard to get them. So I'm looking forward to the rain. Let me see. Let me scroll up a little bit. I missed something. Okay, no, I want to see those. Kahlest, you probably did see those already. I just made those private like a week ago or a week or two ago, something like that. I tell my own stories, things I've been through, or I make up on my own. I was thinking of narrating others. Just go with what feels good. That sounds wrong, but you know what I mean. Hey, I found a new channel that is really good. Is it okay to say who it is? Yes. Use your phone and add filters. Okay, then I did. I don't know. We'll talk about it, Kahlest, because I did a lot of writings and I did a lot of. I actually started. What was it called? Poetry for Psychopaths. I can't remember what it was called. It was some sort of Saturday Night for Psychopaths or something like that with poetry. It was embarrassing. Roger says, I have a channel, but all I have on there is playlists of music and audiobooks that I like. I don't really upload any videos. Hey, that's all right. Sometimes some of my favorite stuff is to find somebody that has a playlist of stuff that I might like. So I'm sure there's people that appreciate that. For real. I'd like to narrate sci-fi horror someday. I just don't have the voice. Hey, I think you've all heard people that probably shouldn't narrate that don't have the voice. So you never know. I think that I'm just joking, sort of. I think that once you get yourself a microphone and record something for yourself and play around with the audio, um, when you're recording yourself reading back, I definitely know there's people that don't think it's as hard as it is to record yourself reading something, but let me tell you, when you're doing it for the first few times, you'll realize how difficult it is. That's all I have to say. But if you want to try it, I highly recommend trying it. I really do. It's not going to hurt anyone if you do it. Try it. If you want to try it, do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Kendall Ray. Oh, I know. She does all kinds of things that are good. I know. Conspiracy theories. Yeah. I found her a long time ago. She didn't even have a 50,000 subscribers yet when I first started watching her. I've been obsessed with YouTube for a while. Let me see. I put my I gotta go back up. I also put my stories on SoundCloud. You should try that. I have done that. I do get a little bit of traffic from that when I remember to do it, but I'm at my upload limit now, and now I have to make the decision if I want to pay the $7 a month to go pro and just have more time there. I don't know. You don't need the voice. Any voice is good. I'll say, if it makes sense when I say this, if you're going to record yourself doing anything, make sure you're relaxed and your voice is coming from your throat, not your nose. If you concentrate on that, you'll know what I'm talking about, if that makes sense to anybody. It's got to be relaxed, and you've got to let your voice settle in your throat, so that's where it comes from, and not concentrating out of your nasal area. I don't know how to really truly explain that. Oh man, it was hard to listen to myself back the first time. Really, it took a long time. Mr. Black Pasta is amazing. Yeah, he's got a smooth, velvety voice, doesn't he? Eric Alden, I love him. He's very smart. He's very smart, very creative. He's actually a professor, if you didn't know that. I remember when Swamp Dweller was at 12, now he's like at 62. Yep, sure is. My voice sounds... I think everyone's voice sounds weird when you hear it, until you hear it so much that you're just used to it. Schmeister, hello. Howdy, y'all. Too late to join the party. Nope. Haven't even started reading anything yet. Still haven't read it. I have picked out for you guys this evening. The title is 45 Insanely Creepy and Bizarre Stories That Will Make You Check Your Locks at Night. Dun, dun, dun. I was reading through one of them and it seemed like creepy. And as I stated before, sometimes I pick these out and totally forgot that I've read them before. Now, I'm pretty 99.9% sure I haven't read these in any video or any live stream before. But I'm not always right, so I guess we'll find out. What's very suspicious? I got distracted for a second, squirrel, and now I've forgotten what has happened. My voice is wired. My voice is weird. Very suspicious. What's suspicious? Huh. I'm confused. Okay. All right. We are going to start reading unless I will come back and check the chat. And we're going to dig into this. Let's dig in. You ready to dig in? Let's dig in. Number 1. Again, I'm pretty sure we haven't read these, but let's just get into it. Anyways, number 1. It's titled Marcy. So this happened when I was about 9 or 10, probably 9. This isn't relevant, but I'm a girl. I thought nothing of it at the time and only really realized the creepiness a year later. For context, my neighborhood back then was pretty safe. It still is. And we even had a security alarm, but only left it on at night. I had gotten home from school and had spent an hour or so on the computer, so it was around 3 or 4 p.m., and I was home alone. My dad was at work. My mom and brothers were grocery shopping. The desk that had the laptop was next to an archway, which led to the dining room, which had a wine rack, which my siblings and I never touched, fearing we'd somehow break the wine bottles, and a wardrobe cabinet thing, which had other alcohol in it like vodka and sake, which my siblings and I never touched since we thought alcohol was gross. The cabinet wardrobe thing was next to the archway closest to the laptop. So I was playing on the laptop, and I glanced at the dining room and noticed that the wardrobe cabinet door is wide open. I think nothing of it until I glanced at it again, looked down, and noticed a pair of feet. The cabinet door closes, and a woman is standing there, mid to late 20s, and I distinctly remember her looking pretty, and she had reddish hair. She notices me looking and smiles at me and stops rummaging through the cabinet. I had just gotten a puppy who was very fluffy and adorable and social. When she stopped, I noticed she's holding my puppy, saying how cute he is and how she wishes she had a dog. I agree with her, and then I ask, "Are you one of my mom's friends?" Because sometimes they babysat my siblings and I. She responds with a no, while cooing over my puppy. There's a silence, and she puts him down, and she wanders over to me and lays down. She walks away, and I cautiously follow her. Notice at the steps of the door when she was using to leave with several bottles of different alcoholic drinks. I thought that was weird, but since I rarely went into the cabinet, I didn't recognize the bottles as ours. Thought it was weird, and went back to playing on the computer. My mom and brothers came back, and my mom asked me how my day was, and I tell her about the lady. My mom kind of freezes, trying not to freak out, I think. I didn't tell her the lady took anything because I didn't know that stuff was ours. She asks how she got in, and I tell my mom that I think she got in through the garage door because that's how she left. I mentioned that she had some alcohol bottles with her. My mom, which to me at the time was acting weird, tells me with a serious freaked out look on her face to lock the garage door next time and don't let strangers in. She knew I didn't let that lady in, but I guess she was freaked out that someone was in our house with her child. Later, a few days, my mom tells me who the lady was. Apparently, our next door neighbors had a 20-something-year-old alcoholic daughter, and she came to them asking for alcohol and money, and they said no. So she came into our house to get her fix. A year or so later, when someone was asking me about my dog, I suddenly thought about that and got freaked out about how easily she could have taken him from me. I don't know. Is that even scary? Is that scary to anyone? Squirrel. Let me get my blankie. Check your locks. That was the first one. How did we get so far? Yeah. That was just number 1 right there. I don't know. I'll come back for your votes, but I don't think that was that scary. I don't know. This better get fast. Let's get some creepy, crazy crap going on in here. Come on, number 2. This one's titled Cold Beer on Sunday. These are quite lengthy, so you're in for a treat. Or a really lengthy, long time here. Okay, anyway. This happened circa 1971 or 1972 when my mother was about 14 or 15. The incident occurred in a heavily wooded area near Montevallo, Alabama, close to Birmingham. Oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. My mother is the oldest of 5 children. She has 3 sisters and a brother. By the way, there's a lot of letters missing in the story, so this should be fun. She has 3 sisters and a brother who is the baby of the family. One weekend in the cooler months of the fall, my grandfather decided to take the whole family into the woods for target practice with a rifle. 7 people in total. My mother grew up quite poor, and they didn't always live in the best neighborhoods, so my grandfather wanted to teach the kids how to defend themselves with a rifle if need be. Like I said, it was later in the fall, so the trees were bare, and there were lots of leaves on the ground. The wooded area was just off a dirt road, so this was a fairly rural area they were in. Since it was so far off the beaten path, my grandfather became startled when he heard the roar of a car engine so deep in the woods. My mom remembers the car as being a blue Ford Galaxy. Despite the fact that my grandfather had a gun, he totally freaked out and told my grandma and the kids to hide under a pile of leaves in the woods. He hid them. The man in the driver's seat got out, dragged a woman's body out of the car, and just dumped her there in the woods and drove away. After my grandfather was sure the man had gone, everyone came out of hiding, and the woman sat up and stared them straight in the face. My grandfather asked the woman if she needed help. She said no, she would be fine. She didn't seem to be injured and obviously didn't want help. She hadn't put up a fight with the man when he was dragging her out of the car. She must have known him. So my grandfather cut the shooting lesson short and decided to rush the kids home to safety. On the trail back to the dirt road where my grandfather had parked their car, they passed the man in the blue Ford Galaxy driving out of the woods. My mom looked over and noticed he had a huge machete laying across the front seat right beside him. My grandfather made sure that the man could see that he was carrying a rifle, but everyone was careful not to give away what they had just seen. The man struck up small talk with my grandfather, asked him how he was doing, and what we were doing out in the woods. My grandfather explained that we had just taken the family out for some target practice, and the man told him to have a nice day and continue driving. The next day, my grandfather went back up to that spot in the woods. There was no body there. However, he did find the woman's wig, her purse, some Kleenex, and a pair of eyeglasses. He collected the items and took them home. According to my grandfather, that area of the woods was known for having shallow graves and being a dump site for bodies. My mother became hysterical when he walked in the door carrying that stuff. She started screaming, "He killed that lady! He killed that lady!" My grandfather ended up taking the items to the police station, but my mom doesn't think anything ever came of it. She never heard anything else about it after that. Well, she did hear one thing, I guess. Early the next morning, my grandfather called my mom when she arrived at work, just before the kids left for school. She told them not to take the bus that day, that she would come and pick them up and drive them to school. When my mom asked why, my grandmother said, "Because that car is waiting for you at the bus stop." Okay, that one was definitely creepy. Gonna wait on this now. Whoa. Halloween prank. Haha, Connie Bach. Just drive your friends out there and pretend to drag them out of your car and leave them there. I don't know how funny that would actually be. Oh, that's terrible. That's a good sign. At least it was better than story number 1, eh? Story number 1 was lame. Okay. Let's test it out here. Let's see. Number 3 will make us or break us. How about that? This is called, I can't even, egg, 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 egg. That's what they titled the story. Okay. So about 2 months ago, me and my friend were on a coach back to our hometown after she came with me to London to look at a university. Our coach ends up being delayed, so we're late on a late one, leaving at about 9:45. We're both pretty tired after getting up at 5 a.m. to go to London. So she asked the man behind her if she can recline her seat a bit, as there was no one sat next to him, and he agrees. We both fall asleep sort of on the coach, and suddenly she wakes me up panicking. She's telling me that the guy behind her keeps feeling her up through the gap made by her reclining her chair. Ew. I told her in my half-asleep state he probably did it by accident and go back to sleep. About 20 minutes later, she's repeatedly whispering my name to get my attention. Straight away, I look at the gap between our 2 seats, and his hand is there. I put my head in the gap and stared at this dude in his eyes and made it clear not to touch her again. Then I put her seat forward and positioned myself so I was covering the gap between the seat. Now I'm wide awake. As he was sat in the seat directly behind me and it was dark outside, I was able to see his body in the reflection of the window without seeing his face, meaning he couldn't see me watching him. I stared at him for about 20 minutes before thinking he must have gotten the picture by now. I turn and put some music on and give my friend a headphone so she feels better. Sometime later, I feel a pull on my seat. Straight away, I look in the reflection and see this dude's holding onto my seat and is peering over the top of it. I lean forward and he catches my eye in the window. He sat down straight away and tried to style it out, pretending he was adjusting the overhead aircon. I put my head between the gap and stared at him for about 20 seconds so he knows not to try anything again. At this point, my friend's getting really stressed out and upset. And I talk loud enough for him to hear and reassure him that I won't let him do anything again, and I put myself back covering the gap. About 20 minutes later, she freaks out again. She starts shouting at this man, and I see that he has moved seats and has put his hand on the outside of the 2 seats. This time, I'm not having it anymore, and I turn around and tell him to leave my friend the fuck alone, raising my voice. He just leaned back and pretended to be asleep. Unfortunately, some guys on the coach were drunk and were being loud, so no one heard us shouting for help. About another hour into the journey, we all had to get off the coach because of a mix-up in a taxi back to our hometown. We stand up and get off the coach. After staring at the man and making sure he wasn't behind us, we told the coach driver what had happened and requested he didn't put us on a coach with him. But the man had gone at this point, and I ended up getting a taxi back with one of the drunk guys on the coach and his girlfriend, both of which I knew. Small world. See, now I thought that one was going to be scarier than it was. So, whatever. I feel like people feel like a story is scary if something could happen, which if you think about it, you can make every goddamn thing into a scary story at that point. Like, I took a shower this morning and I dropped the soap on the floor and it made the bottom slippery and I almost fell. Dun, dun, dun. Same thing. That's how I feel about that story right there. Obviously, let me go back up. Okay, hold on. I come into the chat where someone was commenting on the last story. They were obviously plotting something. That body dumping was a clear show. Oh, yeah. Obviously. Better than the first story. No one has met my girlfriend yet, so I might get her to pretend to be dead and scare the hell out of everyone when I show up. That's awesome. I got a couple stories. It's hard to be scared by a story unless it happens to you. I usually only get scared of losing loved ones or being alone. Cult stories are creepy. Yeah, definitely. I was really digging the series that Leah Remini was doing about when she was in Scientology and how she was trying to get everyone else she knew out of it and try to get them to stop. But that I could do a whole series on that. Of course, then they'd probably target me too. So yeah, like I need any more crap in my life. But that I don't know. I haven't seen that come back on, so I don't know if that series is done or if they're like in some sort of court battle with them because I know that they're very insistently legal. They have a very strong legal team. So I don't know. Cults are terrifying. It's more terrifying how vulnerable masses can be that believe in these crazy people. That's what's terrifying to me, that people are so fucking gullible that they'll go to the extreme lengths of believing this and then hurt others in the process. That's what's scary to me. I really like Joe Rogan. I do. He can be a dick, but who can't be? I just feel like he's honest. He had what was his name? Kevin. Damn it. I don't know his last name, but he was talking about how he had a heart attack and then he went vegan. And Joe Rogan I thought he was going to start ragging on him, but he wasn't. And I thought it was kind of a cool plug for veganism, but not that you have to be vegan. I can't even stick to being vegetarian all the time, but I try. Lord, do I try. I went with my stepdad one time to Kansas and saw Dogman. Ooh, that's cool. That's a whole story right there, dude. That's a whole story right there. What the fudge? I didn't know you liked JR. You don't know me. You don't know me. Yeah. Just when you think you know me, kabam! I'll strike you again. Yeah. Even my husband still learns stuff about me every day. So, yeah. I'm a person that needs multiple things to keep my mind occupied. When I'm bored, I'm not happy, and then I feel like I make others miserable. So I try to find multiple things to be interested in, and usually things I can do at the same time, if that makes sense. Clee says, yes, like the couple in Australia who claim to be the reincarnation of Jesus and Mary, and they solicit their followers to donate money for their living expenses. Yeah, I don't understand. No. Jesus, make it rain, turn fish into coin. I don't know. And how dare they? Like, wow. That's gross. Anyways. Oh. Skinwalker You're not supposed to talk about that. You know that then. If you're living in that territory, you know you're not supposed to talk about that. Hey, Angela. Darkness. I'm gonna be okay. I think it's been 2 years now since I did my Skinwalker story, and I swear to God, oh no, I think that was a year ago, a year and a half ago. And I'm not gonna lie, for 3 nights in a row, my dogs barked at like in the middle of the night at nothing. And I was freaked out for weeks after I did my Skinwalker story. I was. You can call me crazy. I'm totally fine with that. I just know that the energy around here was weird for a while after I did that. And I don't think I did do another one with Mr. Saberine, which I have a collab coming with him. I don't know when he's going to put the audio out, but I just sent him some audio. Makes sense. I'm listening to you while on a braided rag rug. Skinwalkers, eh? Yeah. Let's keep talking about them so they can come and get you. I don't live in the woods. Skinwalker territory isn't even in the woods. It's usually in a reservation area or I don't know. If you're talking skinwalkers, I think you're usually talking Native American. If you're talking like there's different categories. Yes, I have. I think that the majority of people that like horror have or desire to experience something paranormal. Yeah. I saw one that was pretty awesome. Oh my god. Awesome? I don't know. That's awesome. Usually if you see one, you're going to keep seeing it until you don't see anything anymore because they're coming to kill you. Anyway. Yeah, I have experienced a lot of stuff paranormal. Shapeshifters. Yes, but the theory is that skinwalkers. Oh my god, I can't believe we're talking about them again. So, come here, Lily. Come here. They don't get it right, and that there's something about them that they're almost human, but they're not. What do you think of flat earthers? Oh, Jesus. It's funny because anytime someone crazy tells you their point of view, you can kind of see why they would believe it. But I mean, they can get in a boat and drive to the edge of the earth and then realize they're not going to fall off. To each his own. That's kind of how I feel. If your crazy thoughts don't hurt someone else, you just keep on thinking your crazy stuff, all right? It's cool. I have a problem with when someone has a crazy thought that ends up harming others. If it's not harming anyone, to each his own. That's really seriously how I feel. Yeah, you hear my cat. My crappy computer chair keeps popping too, but I don't know why my cat will just go in the hallway and just meow 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 and my hand is literally like waiting to pet her. And then when she comes to me to pet her, then she stops crying. So I'm not really sure why she does that. She just wants some attention. The earth isn't flat or round. Shall I prepare the ash? Yes. Anyway, ashes sage. Yeah, well, my sage is still in a plastic bag. It's not been lit yet, so. Here we got Bigfoot. I live on Sasquatch Island, normally called Vancouver Island, and yes, I have heard them scream and I heard the tree knocking. Yikes. Yeah, I've seen that. What is that? There's a show called Finding Squatch, or correct me if I'm wrong. I can't get the name quite right, but it's something to that effect. I got plenty of ashes and sage. Oh, when will you do another video? The Galagos or Galagos or whatever Serial Killer Saturday will be out tomorrow. So that should be a doozy. Well, let me phrase that correctly. It's all set to go. You just have to make the video. Supposed to storm here tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. What zodiac sign am I? I'm Sagittarius. Fire. Never watched it. Yes. Okay. We are reading 45 insanely creepy and bizarre stories that will make you check your locks at night. We're on number 4. I will say, and everyone will agree with me, that 1 through 3 has been 2. So hopefully number 4 is better than that. Let me see here. A couple of years ago, my house was broken into and all my cousin's things were stolen. I wasn't home at the time. I was out breaking curfew with an ex of mine when all of a sudden I get a call from my mom. I was horrified because I thought she was going to lose it from how late I was. But when I picked up, all she said was the house had just been robbed. I got home and the village guards were gathered around my front door. My family was in the kitchen. Then they told me what had happened. My cousin, who was staying with us at the time, had gone downstairs a little past midnight to have a snack. When she went back upstairs, she tried opening the door to her room and noticed it was locked. The lights were on and she heard people behind the door. She tried banging on it, but to no avail. She quickly ran to my parents' room and alerted them, but by the time she had gotten the door open, the room was ransacked. Later, my mom had found footprints right outside her bathroom window and a broken watch. Now we have high walls that surround our house, and the way to get to the roof would be to scale a tree and hoist ourselves onto the roof. From the vantage point of outside my parents' bathroom, you can see the upstairs hallway and anyone who walks up and down it. That means the entire time someone was watching my family. This burglary wasn't spur of the moment. It had clearly been planned, and someone had been watching and observing our house for a while. I don't know, not scary. It's creepy that someone was watching your house, but again, no one died, no one tried to kill you. It's just like any story is a story now. Guess what? I drove home from work and someone cut me off and they almost crashed into me, but they didn't. Whew. Should I send that to Reddit? I feel like I should make up a whole bunch of crappy stories and send them to Reddit and see who reads them. Dun, dun, dun. It was 96 here at 10 p.m. a few weeks ago. I'm a Pisces. I'm a Virgo. I like storms, fortnight storms. I love rain and storms. Yeah, I don't know anyone who doesn't love storms. I don't like right now our garage door has a seal broken on it, so when it rains really hard, our garage floods. So we don't really like that, but the rest of it we like, especially because we were on the verge of a drought here. All the grass everywhere was getting brown, or it was brown and crunchy. So it rained a few days last week and then the week before that. So thank God. We just need like one more day of rain so that we're not like, I don't know. It seems like the last few summers it's just been on the verge of drought. So there was a brush fire actually yesterday on the way home from work. So I had to take an alternate way. It had shut down the expressway by my house because of it. So, yep. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm moving on to the next story and hope to God it's better than this one. So, thumbs down so far, I'd say. Wouldn't you all agree? Hopefully this one's better. Number 5, Becca Benvey. I started my way back from New York City. The flight had been going smoothly up until our landing in Cincinnati. I was told that my flight was delayed due to bad weather. Keeping myself entertained, I went outside, read my book for a few hours, then made my way back to the counter to figure out what was going on with my flight. More delays later, it became clear that I would not be making it home anytime soon. I settled in for a long night. Outside for a cigarette, I noticed a drag queen pacing back and forth in front of the vending machine. A few minutes later, I got up and went to buy myself a bottle of water. I turned around just in time to see the drag queen sauntering up. "You having a bad night, honey?" I politely motioned that I'm on the phone. She's persistent, and I eventually hang up. The drag queen, her name is Chris, asks me to join her for a cigarette. We chat for a while, then she asks me to join her for a drink. My option of hanging around the airport isn't looking like much fun. Getting drunk in Cincinnati with a drag queen beats trying to find a spot to sleep on the cold floor. Over a drink, Chris starts to talk about how she would just love it if I would join her at a nearby casino. I decline. She tells me it's only a half-hour drive away. I again tell her that I would prefer to just stay around the airport. We continue chatting, and after more insistence that we head to the casino, something makes me change my mind. The problem with all of this was that from the beginning, my gut was telling me this was not a very good idea for many obvious reasons. We get in the vehicle and start to drive. I'm keeping an eye on where we're going, and immediately I'm alarmed and realize we're getting farther and farther away from the city. In fact, we're now on the highway. It's 12:30 at night at this point, and there is no one on the road except some truckers. I start to get a little creeped out and ask some questions about the casino. Where is it? Are there signs? I'm assured that it's not much farther at all, and that there will be some signs coming up at any moment. We keep driving. It's getting more secluded, and I still haven't seen any signs for this casino. Now at this point, I'm more than a little scared. I'm sick to my stomach. We take an C exit and are all of a sudden plunged into complete darkness on a road with no streetlights, no traffic, no nothing. Just farmland. And we're in the middle of nowhere. I am in the middle of nowhere in Ohio with a drag queen who has asked me to go to a casino which I'm not even sure exists, and I'm about to puke. I reach in my bag, dial 911 on my phone, and hold my finger over the call button ready to press and send at any second, but I'm not even sure if I'll get reception. The only thing I can think over and over is, what have I done? I could barely even talk at this point, but I needed to get out of the car ASAP. I asked her to pull over so I could pee, but it's just a bit further. No, I really need to go now. She pulls the car to a stop, and I grab my purse, telling her I'll be right back. I go down a hill and take off running into farmland. I can hear animals, and I'm so scared I can hardly even see straight. I press myself up against the side of a hill and wait for about a half an hour until I think she's gone. I walk for a bit until I come to some kind of community down a dirt road. The first house has a TV on and a Rottweiler guarding the house. I keep walking and come to the last house around the bend. The TV is on. I knock on the door and peek through the screen. There is a man with a serious mullet asleep on the couch. I knock. He kind of sits up and then sits back down and turns off the lamp. What the fuck? I knock again and I say I need help. Nothing. All of a sudden, he bolts up, does a double take at the girl standing in his doorway, and runs outside. He can hardly contain himself. Oh my god, oh my god. I give him the short version of my story, leaving out the part that my companion was a drag queen. He invites me in. I immediately find out that this guy is a taxidermist. He offers me juice, just water please, milk, just water please, Kool-Aid, Sunny D, coffee, tea, Mountain Dew. I see the disbelief in his eyes that I refuse Mountain Dew, so he cracks one himself and chugs the entire thing in 30 seconds. Cracks another one, and in a few minutes I watch this man consume 3 Mountain Dews. He starts to tell me again what a nervous guy he is. Could it have anything to do with Mountain Dew? And how this sort of thing happens on TV, and he just can't believe that he's so glad that I'm okay. I ask for a ride to the airport. He agrees, except he's just had a bunch of beers. That's okay. We have time for him to sober up. He talks to me a lot for the next little while, showing me pics of the biggest fish he ever caught, and some taxidermy, a mounted squirrel, and shot it with a BB gun. He showed me the fishing rod he had been in the process of patching with crazy glue and dental floss, and he told me how he hates this city. His friend once brought him to a bar where there were men dressed as women. This made me silently congratulate myself that I had left out the drag queen part in my story. Despite my better judgment, I ended up passing out in the lazy boy after he set an alarm. When it went off a few hours later, the closing credits to an X-Files rerun was playing and its eerie music on the television. I woke him up and was soon dropped off at the airport, just in time to catch my flight home. Whenever I tell this story, it feels unbelievable even to me. It's so ripe with cliches, and the best part of the story, the helpful redneck told me at one point in the evening that there really was a casino in the area. Update. 3 other things happened that I didn't mention in the original post. Chris originally mentioned that we would go to the casino in town because it was more lively than the one that was further away. When we turned off the dirt road, she said we were going to the one that was further away because it was quieter than the one that was in town. So there was a lie in a tent situation. Number 2. Before we made the turn, as we got farther away from the lights of the city, she started getting strange and aggressive with me. She kept cagely asking me if I judged her like everyone else. And the 3rd update, she had told me she was a flight attendant from Florida with a layover. When we got to her car, it had Ohio license plates, and she excused this by saying it was a loaner from a friend. I don't know. That's not scary either. That's just weird. Wow. Is anyone even still here? What? Oh my goodness. A holiday of bad choices. Drink a red line. What's that? I love rainstorms. What do you do when it snows and you constantly... Oh, I skipped to next. Okay, what do you do when it snows and you're stuck inside all day? Snows? When it snows and you're stuck inside all day? That's my favorite. I feel like you have an excuse to just stay inside and do nothing. If I haven't cleaned my whole house, I'll clean my whole house. Watch movies, read, play games, organize stuff. I don't know. I have like a billion hobbies. Besides making videos and recording stuff, I like to paint. I crochet. I know how to knit. I do like making something out of nothing. That seems to be like any hobby that involves taking something and then, or just making something out of nothing. I like that. So I can get a little obsessive with that. All right. So someone says, I hear you. It's been ringing here almost constantly since last week. Let me see here. Drag queens are a ton of fun. Agree. Yeah, I will. Killer makeup tips, man. You know, I enjoy really watching James Charles. If you've never watched him, and if you're homophobic about it, whatever, you know, that's your deal. But that's some serious talent right there. I literally watched this dude paint flowers on his eyelids like better than I've ever seen someone paint a flower on a canvas. Like hands down, that is some amazing stuff. And we were talking about editing earlier too. If you ever watched you ever watched Jenna Marbles, her boyfriend Julian Solomita. I watched his latest vlog where they went to Hong Kong, Tokyo, and his editing is amazing. He should probably teach people how to edit vlogs because it's so good. He's just got the skill. He knows how to insert the right music at the right time with the right clip, slow it down, speed it up. Just he doesn't do too much or too little of each shot either. It's just he's got an eye for it it's enjoyable to watch because sometimes you watch someone's vlog and it's kind of like, ugh, it's too long or this isn't. It's okay, but I mean his vlog was just like it's more like oh my god, I can't even say the word. Not photography, someone know, help me out. I can't even say it right, but you know what I'm saying. Oh, shoot, I can't go up now. 3 Mountain Dews in 5 minutes. Okay, drink a red line. A holiday bad choices. Hey, Xylon X. That's a cool name. Xylon X. We're doing something with writings or something, were we not? Oh my gosh. Send me an email or message on Twitter if we were doing something with writings. My brain has taken a vacation and I feel like I'm losing contact with people I was going to narrate stuff for. Anyways, Silver Bullet says, I used to live in an old house on the east coast of Canada. And there was, okay, this thing keeps going up too far where I can't read the comments. Where did it go? Oh, I think there was a presence in that house. Cleese says, I'm still here. These stories don't sound scary so far. They're not. Dre day, get high as fuck. That's what you do when you're stuck inside all day. Every time I would sit on the couch a few minutes later, I'd just feel like someone or something would sit down beside me. Ooh. I've had that in my old house. That was a while ago, but I always felt like a ghost cat, if that makes sense. Like my cat would be on one side and I'd feel like the little pressure and the pitter patter like a cat walking, and there would be nothing there. No, that didn't scare me. I thought that was kind of cool. Felt sad for I feel bad for ghosts. Does that make sense? Like they're trapped somewhere. Move on. Go to the next. Of course, it would be kind of fun to haunt people. Squirrel. I know someone's going to say that in a second. The woods near my house is right next to the oldest cemetery in the part of the state. People from the late 1700s. I can't tell you how much activity I've seen out there. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. Cinematography. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, you've narrated for me before. Yes, and I'm drawing a blank. I swear to God, I'm drawing a blank, Xylonex. I know I'll figure it out when I sit down and focus on it, but there's just been a lot going on lately. Yeah, ghost cat, exactly. But you didn't have any pets. Yeah. I felt that before too. It's just passing energy. Kahlest, yes, I had a ghost cat. Came with a rescue who was abused, but oh. I wonder if tarantulas can ghost as well. I think anything that has energy, when it's no longer around, its energy still exists, if that makes sense. So I don't think it's unreasonable. Angela says there's a ghost nurse where I work. Xylon X. Okay, now I remember. Ooh, that was a good one. That was the cult. That was a cult one from last year, right? It was me and Unit and Markbot. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see, Connie says I would give you some collective stories about Busey Woods. Does everything have to be strictly true or creepypasta? No. No, I very rarely. I wouldn't say that. I'm not sure what constitutes just a scary story and a creepypasta. I just think anything creepy or crazy or insane is great. Creepypasta was just a tag, and it basically meant crappy pasta, which, I don't know. Everybody's a critic, aren't they? I think anyone that has the creativeness to, okay, thank you, Xylonex. Man, I hate when it's like right there on the tip of the brain and then you can't piece it together. Thank you. Ghosts freak you out. Do they really? Does the unknown freak you out? Is that why? I think most people are interested in paranormal because they want to know that something exists beyond the world. They want to see and feel and touch proof of life outside of what we know right now. To feel some level of comfort beyond this. I think that's what it is. For me, that's what it is. Angela says, I know my dad is here. My grandson sees him and my dog barks at everything. Billy says, sad thing is now that I have lost some of my hearing, so I can't hear the mosquitoes anymore. Ghost mosquito. I don't know if ghost mosquito would be annoying. The truth is out there. Womp, 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 womp. That was a good show. Now they brought that back. Was it like permanently or just as a trial series? Thank you, Xylon. That's nice. You probably have a ton more stories too. I have to write this down. Man. I gotta troll through and see what you got going on. You probably have a published book by now, I swear. I'll find somebody who's like writing something, and it'll be the first thing, and then next thing I like, like everyone has found them, and then boom, they explode up. So you just never know what's gonna happen with somebody. I see and speak with ghosts all the time. Trial, I think. Me too. Ouija board. What about the Ouija board element? Is that what you do when you're bored? Hundreds of them, but then again, that is what a Xylon do. That's funny. Oh, hello, Elana. Hello. Hello. I'm gonna troll through this horrible stories that I picked out for us and try to find at least one scary one. This is terrible. We're just gonna leave those ones behind. Even if I find you one good one. This says 20, okay. True stories of ghosts and the occult to read alone in the dark. Oh, I'll be the judge of that. Alone in the dark? Can you just give us anything scary would be good. What do you think it is about us that loves to be scared? There's some people that hate to be scared, but then there's other people, like I think everyone that gravitates to horror loves to be scared. Why do you think people enjoy being scared? Anybody have a theory on that one? For me, it's not just being scared. For me to really enjoy horror personally, there has to be a psychological element to it as well. In some aspect. Now, granted, there's some goofy horror stuff out there that's just enjoyable anyway, but it's pretty rare. But I usually need something that I can tie it together. I like a movie that's well written to the fact where you can't figure out the ending. I was just thinking about when I saw Get Out. Oh my god! I think it was about, I don't know if it was halfway into it where I suspected what was going on, but it was closer to the end where I could finally piece it together, and I was like, wow, that was really, really good because I couldn't figure it out until then. Holy crap. What does this say now? No, right, no Luigi. Exactly. Never order pizza on Ouija board. The food is decent, but there's hell to pay. Oh, good job, Xylon X. Tearing it up. Yes. Hilarious. Next time do micropass. Those are hard to find, Element. Those are hard to find. So when I find them, I gobble those things up. I want to find like a little pasta intro from when I find those. That's just like gross. I don't know how to explain that one. Anyway, if that makes sense, anybody. Here's something scary. The sun is rising at 4 a.m. Dun, dun, dun. Kahlest, using a Ouija board is akin to opening your door wide open and putting a sign out front saying free stuff. You don't know who will come inside. Oh yeah, you all know how I feel about using those. You just don't do it. The spirit world is not there for your entertainment purposes. It's extremely disrespectful. That's how I feel about it. Not only is it dangerous for you to play with things you don't know, like gasoline and matches, you know that's bad for you. I tell you, Ouija board's bad for you. You play with it anyway. And sometimes people say, "Oh, nothing's happened." Sometimes bad things can creep in cracks and crevices and take its time and weave its way into your life. Negative energy can sit dormant for a while until it decides that it's going to manifest, exacerbate, things like that. My best advice is don't touch them. The spirit world is not there for your entertainment purposes. It's very selfish and naive, really. So that's my 2 cents. Again, if you're not hurting someone else and you choose to hurt yourself, I don't know what to say. Don't actually hurt yourself. I'm just talking about Ouija boards in this sense, but Just don't use them. Just don't use them. How about that? All right. Anyway. Knowledge of the unknown. Yeah. Park Ranger stories. Is that the one from Jim from The Office? What's that now? What? Oh no, that's a quiet. I think that's called The Quiet Place. Get Out is the. It's the one where the guy goes to meet the girlfriend's parents, and the mom is a hypnotherapist. That's the one I'm talking about. It was scary because I thought, oh my god, he's not gonna get out. Oh, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, so I won't say anything else. Nothing really scares you. Hey, bitty bitty. I think I just swallowed a mosquito. Ugh. Oh, we had our patio door open for a while, and I'm pretty sure I just ate a mosquito. Oh my god. That is so gross. Ugh. Oh, yeah, the next 10 minutes is going to be me gagging on the mosquito I think I might have just eaten. Thank God for water. Oh, God. God. Ugh. I love foreign narrations because it's a challenge to scare me with just one narration. Movies, on the other hand, scare me, but I absolutely love them. See, I feel like short horror is better because I love how a writer can get somebody invested in a character in 5 minutes and you're scared for them. That's talent. That's talent. That's beyond talent to get somebody invested in a character and you invested in a story in such a little bit of time. It's another reason why I really do love micropastas because they have such a twist to them that you know a twist is coming, but it's just like a bam, it's a hard one. Ooh, rough. Oh, yeah. You mixed them up. Yeah. Gotta scroll down. And finally catching up with the chat. Took me a second here. Silent want to spend an entire movie reevaluating your life. Watch Hereditary. Hereditary? Huh. I'm gonna be haunted by a mosquito. Oh, yeah. I haven't seen Hereditary yet, so is it? I think, is it on Netflix? I think it's on Netflix. Or no, is it in movies? I don't know. Jesus, I don't think I know anything anymore. Could protein a mosquito? Yeah, I just hope it was like, I don't know. There's your ghost mosquito coming to haunt you. Oh, yes. The irony is amazing there. I'm going to get food and 7-Eleven by Element. In theaters last I checked. Okay. I missed Hereditary. Yeah, I usually miss everything that's in the theaters. It's pretty rare that I'll get there in time to see it. Like I wanted to go see Jurassic World. I'm pretty sure I missed that. And I gotta wait for it to come out. Which honestly, I'd rather watch it at home where I could rewatch it a bunch of times anyway, because usually if I like a movie, I'll want to watch it again right away. I think I found something else that we might be able to read one of. Oh my god. Ooh, these are so good. I don't know if I want to. Okay, I'll just read the two I saw and then we're going to call it quits. This this one is called Something Was Wearing Her Skin. Daddy, I had a bad dream. You blink your eyes and pull up your elbows. Your clock glows red in the darkness. It's 3:23. Do you want to climb in bed and tell me about it? No, Daddy. The oddness of the situation wakes you up more fully. You can barely make out your daughter's pale form in the darkness of your room. Why not, sweetie? Because in my dream, when I told you about the dream, the thing wearing mommy's skin sat up. For a moment, you feel paralyzed. You can't take your eyes off your daughter. The covers behind you begin to shift. Okay, I've read that before. Man, I hate when I think something's scary, and I thought this was a true story. Ay, ay, ay. I'm on a mission now. I want to find some actually scary crap. I started talking about reading the Willows for Patreon. And if you don't know what the Willows is, it's an old, I don't know if it's a classic per se, but it's in the public domain of horror, free to use horror. And it's by Algernon Blackwood. And so far I'm reading the story, I'm going along with the story as the listeners are, so I don't know what's going to happen, but it kind of sounds like this guy thinks that he's on this canoe trip with his friend, and he's basically either going crazy, or these swamplands or rivers or whatever that he's in, the Willows, he thinks are actually alive. So I don't know. Oh, gotta wait for this one. Body horror stories? Do you mean like morgue stories? Oh, it was a letdown? That sucks. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. No, it's still on Patreon. No, it's still on Patreon. So far we've raised $581. It's just sitting there growing. I'm not sure what level, because I'm told that you need a lot to do what I'm trying to do. But I feel like you can start it and then upgrade it as you grow. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, I just don't know how to create, even if we create a website that's got not for hundreds of people to use it to start with, but just 20 people to use it to start, where they can post anything they want to post. Besides, not like gore.com, but just trying to think of how long do we wait before we approach, because I don't. Glad I missed it now. Oh no, you didn't get a notification. You're glad you missed what now? Is this not on? It says it's on. I didn't get a notification. HorrorTube is still on Patreon in the process of developing. I'm not really sure if anyone's still here or not, so can't tell. Hey! Sid has a channel too, if anyone's still here. We're just wrapping it up here, actually. Sid, been on here since about 10. Um, oh, Biddy, I'm gonna start sending everyone a message then every time there's a new thing up, because I feel like everybody is not listening to the stuff when I put it up. So, the patrons that are there, so it's up. Um, the both parts of part 1 are up. The first part of part 1 I am gonna post on the channel next week, just because it was free for everyone to go to Patreon to listen to it. So I figured I'd post it to YouTube anyways, just the first part that was free for everyone. About once a month, I do post something that's free for everyone, just so to try and draw some people in and try to build a bigger audience. And there's a bunch of stuff that After Dark Analysis is sent in too that I need to post as well. Cronenberg type of stuff. Yeah. I'm glad. Oh no, I'm not saying you have to listen, but I feel like you're missing out on stuff that I'm posting just for you if you're not getting notifications. So I'm going to try and send messages to you guys directly so you can get it. So just going to check the chat. Schmeister is, in case anybody doesn't know who the patrons are, I do always post them in the beginning of every video that I do, and then they're always in my description box as well. Antonio, Kahlest, Bonnie, Veronica, Howard, Bernadette, Brenda, Brian, Jen, Ghost Eagle, Elana, which I think she was here too, Schmeister, and Mathew Bergman. Those are all patrons right now. And I'm thankful for every one of you who really want to see something else happen with horror. I've noticed that horror has diminished greatly on YouTube, unless you guys always recommend more horror, because I want to see the genre grow, not diminish, in any way that it can grow. There was something else. Oh, and YouTube is going to go out of its way to try and just get rid of anything that you like on YouTube, I think so. Especially true crime, which is obviously one of my bigger audience interest, which is Serial Killer Saturday. So, if they start to mess with that at all, that will, without a doubt, be at Patreon. And I would still make a video, and that would be a download for anybody that was a patron there. But yeah, if they try to mess with my Serial Killer Saturday, I'll be done with YouTube 100%, and I'll just be at Patreon, because I really don't understand why you would screw with anybody that brings an audience to your website. That makes no sense to me. So they don't seem to respond to anyone when they ask them questions. They just feel it's totally within their right to mess with creators and never answer their questions. So I won't even try with them. If they mess with me at all, I'll be done with it. Okay, Kahlest. I will see you later. Let me see. If you saw Jurassic Park, you have to see. Well, I saw the first one with Chris Pratt, but I haven't seen like the one that just came out. I didn't see that one. Let's see. Elena, a video taken at a car wash on Lyons Avenue has some people heated. It shows a funeral home employee rinsing out a red liquid from the company van while a bystander scolds him. What? I'd like to know more about that. There's been a lot of weird stuff going on with funeral homes lately, actually. Not just all over the place. True crime, me too. I mean, it could have been paint, so I'm sure that if you all have seen the video, then I'm sure the police have seen the video as well. I'm sure it's being investigated. That's without a doubt. Okay, everybody seems to have an occupied evening set up, and he said it was citrus and bleach salts. Yeah, we'll see. All right. Well, my stories I read were a wash. If you're just here, I did say in the beginning, middle, and I'll say it again, there will be a story contest. Creeperoni used to do it. I asked her permission if I could do it this year, and I'm going to do it. I don't have all the details worked out, but I'm going to do a story contest this fall. And before that, I'm going to do another art contest. So that is probably going to start in August, which is coming up very quickly. So I've got to start letting you guys know that. I'm gonna let the art contest be all through August and September, and then I can show those off. And then submissions for stories will be all through August and September as well, and then they'll be read and posted all through October. October will be dedicated to just those. So when I get the details worked out, I will make an announcement video that'll just be about those two things. And then I will let you guys do what you want with that. And I hope you do. Anybody that wants to write anything or draw, create anything, it's got to be somehow related to horror. Last year it was for the channel, And if you didn't see Pink Spooky's merch on Teespring, it's still there. There's a link in the description box to it. Or, hold on, let me see if there's a link to that or if it's right on my, hold on. Yep, right there, Duchess Dark merch. And then you can see Pink Spooky's design there. It'll say, it says art contest winner on the back of it, 2017. So the same thing would go for that. Oh, also the winner, I send them a shirt with all their art on it. And, winner 2018 will be on there. So bragging rights, get a free shirt and bragging rights for, the year. Any stories will be less than 10 minutes just because there's no way I'd get them all read if they were longer than that. And what else? I'll work out the details and make an announcement video for that. So that's up next week. Tomorrow is SKS Galagos. And right now I'm reading The Willows on Patreon, making my way slowly through that. And After Dark Analysis has a bunch of stuff that I need to post. I'm trying to think of anything else to tell you guys. If you guys ever have any questions or anything, I have tons of social media ways to reach me. So please don't hesitate to reach out. Hello, Nightmare Files. Hey, I've seen lots of people draw that don't have talent, bitty, so don't discount yourself. You never know. If you like doing something, just keep doing it. That's my thing. And on that note, I think we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to say good night. And if you're new here and you don't know how we say goodbye, thank you for watching. And bye.